Hey, Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, we're just going to go over the US dollar just to see if the recent drop is anything that we should get too excited about. And of course, I do want to keep this episode extremely brief because it is a pretty simple subject. But essentially, we do have this diagonal support, which does correspond to the current price at which we've dropped. And we do seem to be putting in a little bit of a bottoming structure potentially on the 4 hour there. So we do have to watch to see if this thing does turn around and make a higher low, in which case, the dollar could still be on an uptrend and could still potentially meet that 118, perhaps even 120 price point, which would just completely destroy markets. Guys, we do have this drop thanks to the UK changing its economic policies, which were seen as really bad for the British pound. And so, of course, with the British pound pumping, that did drop the dollar faster than much of the market anticipated. And of course, this thing could still recover and go on to a path to create a bit of a head and shoulders here, inverted to the upside. Guys, the dollar is controlling everything, right? Everything is being dominated by the US dollar because everything is traded in dollars. And so if the dollar is strong, then people prefer to be in dollars rather than those assets that they are trading. And so this is the macro pressure that is on us as the dollar has just been parabolically surging ever since April 2021, when we did get that crash in the crypto market originally. We did have a summer low, which then got a nice pump to it. However, this market just has been surging with interest rates, and so the combination of a strengthening dollar plus interest rates, which make it difficult to get liquidity, it makes it difficult to get loans. That does just make the world that much more complicated for those who would trade risky assets such as tech stocks and, of course, crypto. So that does suppress the market, and the market isn't likely to come back until we have a clear topping structure on the dollar. Now, what you can see, of course, if we do just zoom out to perhaps the daily, is that these topping structures can be quite complicated. You see this pullback here, this pullback, and then just chop for just quite a long time. Same thing here. This is a little topping structure, right? And then this had a major downturn, major downturn. Let's see, over here you can see this topping structure, right? Very complicated, and then major downturn. And we do have this V right here, but generally speaking, this is the outlier. So while it is possible that we do get a V on the dollar and we just suddenly get sent back down, and that just could be just an incredible bull run for all of the markets, okay? Just everything could have just incredible bull run, and it is possible. You do see this range right here between my teal level and my red resistance level, where I did expect some type of interplay to happen. And so we are starting to have some suggestions of a slowdown as we are building in some type of negative divergences. But guys, I think that if we look at the history of the dollar, the topping structures are just so complicated. Even if we have a pullback, there is most likely to be this kind of chop for quite a while, and we could be stuck in a bit of a range, right, between some type of bullishness and some type of bearishness, just while that topping structure gets put in, before ultimately the dollar dumps, perhaps in end of 2023, perhaps in 2024. Perhaps in 2025. We don't know yet. It's just not confirmed. And so for the short term, however, You can see that markets do take the opportunity to pump as much as they can when the dollar does weaken. But just to be aware, guys, that this really is not too much different. Right, this little pullback right here is not too much different than what we saw right here. Right, it's not too much different than what we saw right here. And so, as we are hitting this line, we are just continuing to pump up. And so, guys, just to be on the lookout as we're approaching this line right now, we could have a serious dump as this dollar just rockets up. Now, what would be your indicator for perhaps some continued bullishness in the markets? It would be if the dollar breaks down from this line, because that would be something totally different from these previous instances ever since several months ago. And if we did just break down, then whatever run we're seeing today, it actually would be quite strong, much stronger if we do break this downtrend, or pardon me, uptrend, because the markets would be celebrating that toppiness to the dollar. So, guys, there's your summary of the US dollar. Hope you can use that in your trades. And that was your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.